A rumor has been gaining traction over the last few days, and it involves the highly anticipated return of Anna Devane and Max Scorpio to Port Charles. We all knew they were coming back, but the context of their return has been tightly under wraps. However, insider buzz suggests that their arrival is directly tied to a massive hidden agenda orchestrated by none other than the WSB. I wasn't expecting this detail to surface so soon, but it seems there is a major script leak pointing toward a heartbreaking yet incredibly tense interaction between Liesl, Obrecht, and Anna. The unconfirmed information floating around the studio corridors indicates that Liesl is going to approach Anna with a desperate plea. On the surface, it looks like a grieving mother begging an experienced investigator to look into the tragic death of her son, Cassius Phazon. But if you ask me, something about this feels hidden. We are hearing that Liesl's true motive is not to find closure or to confirm that Cassius is dead. Instead, she wants to prove that the WSB is actively covering up the truth and that her son is still breathing. This completely flips the script on what we thought was a closed chapter in the Port Charles saga. Right now, everyone assumes that Cassius Phazon met a grim end during the chaotic showdown on Spoon Island. Most viewers believe the official narrative, Ross Cullum's reign of terror, ended, and Cassius was caught in the crossfire, ultimately taking the fall for Cullum's atrocious crimes. The obvious explanation seems to be that Cassius is dead and buried, and the WSB has neatly wrapped up the investigation to protect their own reputation. Jocelyn Jacks even helped sell this story, striking a secret deal with WSB head Z to use Cassius as a scapegoat to secure the freedom of Jason Morgan and Valentine Cassadine. It is a very convenient story, isn't it? The public has accepted it, the police have moved on, and the WSB gets to walk away with clean hands while a dead man takes the blame. Everyone assumes that Liesl is just another grieving mother in denial, unable to accept the harsh reality of her son's demise. The official reports have been filed, and the narrative has been forcefully pushed by Z's powerful organization. But what if we're looking at this the wrong way? What if the WSB's story is just a meticulously crafted illusion designed to keep everyone, especially Liesl, entirely in the dark? What if that wasn't the real reason Liesl is seeking out Anna? What if someone planned this entire disappearance down to the very last detail? The insider buzz strongly suggests that Liesl has noticed a glaring, undeniable flaw in the WSB's official story. There is no body. Cassius's remains were never transferred to the local morgue, nor were they ever handed over to his family for a proper burial. For a mother as fiercely protective and brilliantly cunning as Liesl Obrecht, this absence of physical proof is a massive red flag. She knows better than anyone that without a body, death is merely a suggestion in their treacherous world. If the WSB truly wanted to close the book on Cassius Phazon and eliminate all suspicion, they could have easily fabricated the evidence. They could have claimed that his body was cremated for high-level security reasons and handed Liesl a decorative urn filled with fake ashes. It would have been the perfect, undeniable closure to stop any further questions. But they didn't, and that arrogance might be their undoing. Liesl understands the WSB's dark, manipulative tactics because she has lived in that world. She knows that when the agency hides a body, it means the person is either a valuable asset or a dangerous liability that they need to keep alive. She is starting to believe that the situation is being manipulated from the very top. This is where the rumor gets incredibly fascinating. Liesl knows she cannot take on the WSB alone. She needs people with deep agency connections, tactical brilliance, and a personal vendetta against the organization's corruption. Enter Anna Devane and Max Scorpio. Anna is returning to Port Charles after her own harrowing ordeal, and she knows exactly how dirty Ross Cullum and the WSB can play. Mac has the investigative experience and the unwavering moral compass to dig into the agency's hidden files. We are hearing that Liesl will recruit them to form a secret underground alliance. They have the skills to track the microscopic breadcrumbs that Z and his operatives left behind. But there may be more going on here, and this alliance needs a heavy hitter. Enter Jason Morgan. We all know Jason is making his highly anticipated return to Port Charles in the monumental 16,000th episode. The behind-the-scenes possibility is that Jason's very first mission upon his return won't be for Sonny Corinthos or the mob, but for this newly formed clandestine rescue team. Jason has unparalleled experience in Black Ops-style infiltration and taking down heavily guarded targets. If Cassius is being held in a secret WSB black site, Jason is the absolute best person to break him out without leaving a trace. The irony here is absolutely staggering. Jason Morgan is a free man precisely because Jocelyn Jax made a deal with Z to pin all the crimes on the supposedly dead Cassius Phazon. If Jason learns that Cassius is actually alive and suffering in a WSB dungeon to maintain that lie, his sense of honor and guilt might compel him to act. He wouldn't just be saving a man, he would be balancing the scales. This underground team featuring Liesl, Anna, Mac, and Jason would be the ultimate force against Z's corrupt regime. But, of course, in Port Charles, no rescue mission ever goes exactly as planned. We have to consider multiple scenarios for how this could play out because the writers have laid down a lot of complex groundwork. Scenario 1. What if the WSB isn't just holding Cassius in a cell? What if Z is actively brainwashing him? We know Cassius has the Phazon DNA, making him a prime candidate for psychological conditioning. By the time Jason, Anna, and Mac finally locate the black site and breach the security, they might not find a victim waiting to be rescued. They might find a highly trained, lethal WSB operative programmed to kill anyone from his past, turning the rescue mission into a deadly fight for survival against the very man they came to save. That's one possibility. But another theory is scenario 2. What if Cassius isn't a prisoner at all? What if he struck his own secret deal with Z? Think about it logically. Cassius loves James West more than anything in the world. He risked his freedom just to say a final goodbye to the boy. Z might have threatened James and Liesl, forcing Cassius to willingly work for the WSB as a ghost to keep his family safe from assassination. If this is true, the rescue team's arrival would actually destroy Cassius's cover, triggering Z's contingency plan and putting James and Liesl directly in the crosshairs of a WSB hit squad. They would be saving him only to doom everyone he loves. And then there is scenario 3. What if Z is already 10 steps ahead of them? Z is a master strategist who plays three-dimensional chess. He might anticipate that Liesl won't let this go and that she will rally heavy hitters like Anna and Jason. Instead of hiding Cassius securely, Z might deliberately feed false intelligence to Mac and Anna, luring the entire rescue team into a heavily fortified death trap. Z could use Cassius as bait to eliminate the biggest threats to his corrupt WSB operations all at once. The team would walk right into a slaughterhouse, completely underestimating the depths of Z's villainy. But guys, we need to talk about the most dangerous possibility. The one theory that has been keeping me up at night. The boldest and most haunting outcome doesn't involve WSB guards or brainwashing facilities. It involves someone much closer to home. What if the ultimate villain of this storyline is Jocelyn Jax? She is the one who made the devil's bargain with Z. She is the one who smeared Cassius's name to secure Jason and Valentine's freedom. Jocelyn is fiercely ambitious, and Z has already promised to elevate her career within the WSB. She is intoxicated by the power and the thrill of the agency. If you ask me, Jocelyn's moral compass is rapidly deteriorating. If she catches wind of this secret investigation, if she discovers that Liesl, Anna, Mac, and Jason are plotting to expose the truth about Cassius, she will realize that her entire deal with Z is in massive jeopardy. If Cassius is found alive, the scapegoat narrative collapses instantly, and Jason and Valentine could be thrown right back into a federal prison. Jocelyn would lose her standing with Z and face the immense wrath of the agency. She cannot let that happen. She simply has too much to lose right now. So, what if Jocelyn decides to protect her deal at all costs? What if she crosses the ultimate line and betrays her own people? Imagine the sheer devastation if Jocelyn secretly contacts Z and tips him off about the rescue mission. She could feed Z the exact coordinates of Jason's infiltration plan, giving the WSB head more than enough time to relocate Cassius, scrub the facility clean, and set a lethal ambush for the team. Jocelyn would be actively aiding the enemy, ensuring that Cassius remains a ghost forever, all to protect her own selfish interests and her shiny new WSB career. That betrayal would shatter Port Charles to its absolute core. I keep wondering whether the writers are actually brave enough to push Jocelyn that far into the dark side. It would be a phenomenal character shift, turning her from a passionate young woman into a cold, calculating agency operative just like the people she used to despise. Will Liesl's desperate motherly instincts be enough to outsmart both the WSB and a traitor in their midst? Will Jason Morgan walk into a trap set by the very girl he has protected for years? The tension is absolutely suffocating, and the stakes have never been higher for this group of legacy characters. We don't have all the answers yet. This unconfirmed information is still just a massive, swirling rumor, but the pieces fit together far too perfectly to ignore. Maybe they will find Cassius and bring him home. Maybe they will all end up in a WSB prison. Or maybe, just maybe, the truth will remain buried forever beneath a mountain of agency lies and personal betrayals. We will just have to keep our eyes glued to the screen to see how this explosive storyline unfolds. Until next time, keep questioning everything you see, because in Port Charles, nothing is ever as it seems.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.